Today I'm in Spring Hill Cemetery in Nashville, Tennessee to visit the grave site of a couple that was very well known in the country music and bluegrass music field. I'm talking about the legendary banjo picker Earl Scruggs and his wife Louise. Earl Scruggs was born in the little small community called Flint Hill, North Carolina, which is about 10 miles out of Shelby, North Carolina. And the reason I mention that is there is a museum there in Shelby, North Carolina, dedicated to Earl Scruggs. Earl also came from a musically inclined family. His dad would play a banjo, even though he died when he was very, very young, and Earl doesn't remember him playing it. And his mother also would play the pump organ. He had 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and they could play the banjo and the guitar. Earl and Louise's marker gives a lot of information on them. You may want to pause as you look at it to read all the details, but I will mention a few things that are on it. He was initially in Bill Monroe's band, and he would resign from that. And it doesn't tell him there, but his duo partner, Lester Flatt, was also in Bill Monroe's band, and he retired from it. But they did form a duo, and they're probably best remembered for their singing and playing for the Ballad of the Jed Clampett for the television show The Beverly Hillbillies. When Earl performed as a solo artist, he is probably best remembered for a song he composed himself, which is called the Foggy Mountain Breakdown, and it was played in the movie Bonnie and Clyde. After Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt no longer were playing together, Earl started his own group called Earl Scruggs Review. All 3 of his children, Gary, Randy, and Steve, at one time would play in the Earl Scruggs Review. Now on to the side telling a little bit about Louise, Earl's wife. She was born with the birth name Anne Louise Certain, and she just went by the middle name Louise. Louise would meet Earl when she went backstage to meet some of the performers on Bill Monroe and his band, the Bluegrass Boys, and Earl was that time a member of it. And a year and a half to 2 years later, they would end up getting married. Louise would end up becoming the booking agent and manager for Earl and Lester Flatt when they performed as a duo. Louise Scruggs herself would win several honors and awards, including being inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum's first annual Louise Scruggs Memorial Forum, which was to honor music industry leaders. She's also been inducted into the International Bluegrass Hall of Fame, and the marker also tells that Louise was the first female artist, manager, and booking agent in the history of country music. It is said that Louise would help Earl and Lester Flatt into getting the Beverly Hillbillies theme song and those kind of things. So she did a lot. Also on her markers got a little verse of the Precious Memories song. Now we'll take a look on Earl's side, and this is the back part of the marker, by the way. As I said, it's a very elaborate marker, and you'll find out some information that Earl Scruggs was inducted into the North Carolina Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame as a duo with Lester Flatt, and he's been inducted into the International Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame. He also has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In a closer look to the Earl's back part of the marker, it tells a lot of the compositions he wrote besides the Foggy Mountain Breakdown, which he was so famous for. In the middle, it shows a banjo, which Earl was so famous for. He was considered a 3-finger banjo picker, and on the front, if you didn't notice, it had the 3 little picks that he would play on the banjo. Looking at the marker, it looks like that Earl played the Gibson banjo, made by the Gibson Company. His footstone has a musical notes going across it at the top, which looks very nice. Then we'll move on over to that of his wife. And it shows her first name along with her middle name that she went by on hers, Earl and Louise Scruggs. And buried beside Anne is that of Anne and Earl's son, Gary Scruggs. It has musical notes across it too, as he, like I said, played in his dad's band, the Earl Scruggs Review. As I close out this video today, I thank you so very much for watching my video, and I hope you have a good day.